Well, hello, everybody. Wednesday afternoon. Already got some comments coming in, y'all. I'm glad everybody's here. Hope everybody's having a good week. We're over the hump. Yay. Uh, my only opening comment is 2020 is dead to me. Right. I would rend my clothing if I could. Well, okay. I need this shirt to work in. So, you know what? Symbolically, I rend my clothing at 2020 because it's dead to me. But I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday afternoon, a good week. We got some fun stuff to talk about. Um, I've got a theme for today, but the more I look at it, the more I think, blah, boo. Anyway, we'll touch on it. We'll see what everybody thinks. And I need some help. Okay, I'm working on a video, and I need some help. I need to see what y'all think. So we'll come around to that. Um, Coming out of last week, okay, we got some good comments coming in. I'm going to jump over there. Coming out of last week, Daryl Vincent, I hope you're with us this week. Great White North. Kathy Sanchez, Corpus Christi. Paul Hart, man, says, I'm saddle stitching while I'm watching in Nashville, Tennessee. Very nice. Leo Wild, greetings from the Woodlands, Texas. You know what? I grew up in Spring, Texas, right at the corner of Louetta and Kirkendall. Miss East Texas a lot. I miss the people, the food. It's beautiful. Piney woods. Absolutely piney. All right. So Bob Haney, always good to hear from you. Looks like we're already hearing from you today. Thank you. Y'all, a lot of big help from last week. Going through the comments last week and this morning. Thanks everybody for helping out. There's a lot of questions I can't answer. In fact, there's a couple here already I can't answer. So feel free to drop in a question that I can absolutely be of no help with. Let's see. Mark Stanworth. Let's see, says his wife made made her first leather pouch. I hope she's having a good time with. Boy, that's a great place for a wife and husband to connect. You know, it seems to be hard. That seems to be something that's hard to find is a place we can connect. I hope y'all do. I hope she's having fun with it. Let's see, Wellington Andrade from West Hartford. Let's see, Jeff Allen. I think you've got a fail in here, so we're going to come back around to that. Let's see, Jose Molina, Costa Rica. Y'all, it's a pleasure to have everybody here. I hope everybody's doing good. So this week, I don't know, the theme, all this human craft and leather. There's a couple of good points here. We're going to touch on some history in leather. It's not going to be a leather history, but let's touch on some cool points because the biggie first off is that, well, the wood chippers can argue, and the woodworkers, we can call them that because they call us cow jockeys, so we're cool, right? But what's odd though is with the woodworkers and the leather workers, our steps are almost identical, and a lot of the processes just a little bit different tool, but we're really close. Anyway, the point I'm getting here is one of us is the oldest human craft. We both have a legitimate argument there, but I think it's us. Yeah, I'm biased. I think we're the oldest human craft. Now, in all honesty, stone. I was looking through history this morning, and what a rabbit hole. Wow. All right, we'll come back around to this. But anyway, one of us is the oldest human craft. Stone might be, working, creating the church tools. But man, there's some stuff that goes way back, and we haven't changed much. In fact, we're using a lot of the same tools we used millennia back. And it's just kind of cool to think of that. We're working on a craft that is millennia old. So, all right, so let's see. Let's jump over to this. Notes from the boss, because this is one of my favorites this week. All right, so we got a Halloween sale going on, and you can search the site. There are little icons through the site. Let's see, there's a spider web, a jack-o'-lantern, and a bat. So when you find these are sale items, and they're evidently not really hard to find. I haven't looked for them yet. They're not really hard to find. But look for those so you can find some sale items. But here's my favorite, suede. Suede is on sale right now, 15% off through this Friday. And it's the promo code SUEDE15, SUEDE15. I can roll on suede because I love it. And we'll look at some of the colors, but there's so many products. Okay, first off, let me back up a little bit on suede. We'll get over here. If you're new to leather, you probably heard the term suede or split, and split confused me for years and years when I first got into leather. But here's why. So at the tannery, what they're going to do is they're going to literally skive. I mean, this big piece of equipment. They're going to split the leather horizontally. So what happens is our top grain is going to come off. There's our top grain. The piece that comes off the back, that's our suede. Typically, not always, but typically suede is a chrome tan. It's a lighter weight. Typically, like say with some of the pig suede, I think we're down to 2 or 3 ounce. It's beautiful. It's a lighter weight. But our standard suede typically, Cal, is about 3 to 4 ounce, maybe a little bit heavier. We've got one that's like an 8 to 9 ounce. It's called an apron split. And I mean, it's a suede 8 to 9 ounce, big thing, perfect for any kind of protection that we like for the blacksmiths, woodworkers, us. But anyway, so that's why suede is called a split. It's split off of the top grain. But now, because it doesn't have a top grain, it doesn't really carry the strength. That's where our strength is in the top grain, but it really doesn't so much matter. I mean, you couldn't possibly tear a piece of suede to begin with. Over time, it can separate. But the cool part is, and I'm going to move some of this out and come back to it because I love our suede colors. I've worked for a company in the past, and we basically had the black, brown, cream, and maybe beige. Probably those 4 colors. That was it. That was it. But at Weaver, look at that. I mean, I cannot, that is the richest color I've ever seen. I love this purple. And now we've seen this project before, but it's worth saying. Okay, so I love suede and I use it all the time. Now it's a little less expensive, right? Because it's a split. It's cut off from the top grain. Well, that's good. That's good. And there's a million projects we can make with suede, but it's less expensive. And the colors, the rust on a black, and I'm dying to do a project, and we'll get over to that. I'm dying to do a project with a black with the suede, a filigree cut through, because that is a striking combination, that rust and black. But the colors, let's see. Oh, is that not beautiful? Now, I don't wear a lot of pink. I don't wear a lot of fuchsia, but oh, okay, there's one. Is that not beautiful? I think that, I'm not sure if that or the purple are my two favorite colors. But anyway, so suede's on sale, 15% off. It's a little less expensive to begin with. So that's going to be a good sale. But it's always nice to have suede in our shop. Makes great lace. So anyway, suede, one of my favorites. Now, I don't make a lot of products with suede, but if you think about it, like sometimes our first project is moccasins, either ankle or knee high. Love the knee high. Works for a bunch of different periods in history. Let's see. Let me jump over here because I had a list. Yeah, here we go. So moccasins, pouches, vests, chaps, saddlebags, cuffs, belts, all kinds of ways we can go with the suedes. Now, you've probably seen a utility split. Typically, suede is a chrome, but there's a utility split. This is a veg tan suede. It's a utility split. There's not a lot. I've probably only had one in my shop once in decades. There's not much you can do with it. Now, for utility projects, if you want to line some veg or whatnot, yeah, it'll work well. And it's very inexpensive, but it's not going to take dye. Okay, let me restate that. It'll definitely take dye. It just won't let it back out. It's just going to go absolutely dark. But if you need just a basic leather that's not going to be seen, a utility split is a good way to go. So suedes, love them. My favorite. Now, like I said, I don't really do a lot of full projects, but cuffs and belts and maybe cinch pouches. We can always use the suede for a full project. In fact, this is just a pair of arm guards, and I've lined this with suede. So relatively inexpensive, but now it's got some good feel. It's got some good body to it. And of course, looks great with the spots on it. My favorite, though, all-time filigree. That's just a sporran. Made that kind of years ago and need to do a new one. Need to go a little bit further with this. But let's see what else okay, piece of armor here. This is a part of a full suit. So what I've done is I've tooled a 4 to 5 ounce. I've cut through a large part of my backgrounding, and I brought in our forest green suede behind that. Yeah, this thing, I don't know how many hours it took. Behind that, I've got 10 to 11 ounce Herman oak. So I formed and baked that, bake hardened that, then laid my suede in, then laid my tooled piece in. All told, it was a lot of work, and I want to make another one of these because I think I could have gone with better color choices. It's a little too dark. I would really like maybe a lighter brown, maybe some of the electric blue or that purple behind that. Come on. Okay, so I might have to go that route. The point is, wow, did that piece take a lot? It's 168 pieces to the full suit, and I think 32 of those are 3-ply. So, and the tooling and laying that in and then trying to cut those pieces, trim to size after it's hardened, that was tough. It came out beautifully. I love it. But what a lot of work. Anyway, I love the filigree. It really adds a beautiful level. And with the suede, inexpensive, beautiful colors, and we've got an alternating texture there over our top grain. So pick up some suede. It's nice to have it in your shopper. We've got 21 beautiful, and I'm not kidding, they're all beautiful. So nice color selection there. Let's see. That is basically notes from the boss. We've got some crafter fails. Yeah, I've got one that I don't know if this should be listed as crafter fail or crafter stupid. Maybe we should add a new, y'all don't put those in. Those are for me, crafter stupid, because really, okay. Anyway, we'll come back around to that. So let's jump over here. Let's see, Brandon Hobb. Hi, right back to you, man. Suggestions to working with thin leather. And I think Bob, let's see. I think Bob is helping on. Yes. How thin? Like if we're doing maybe a 1 ounce, that's kind of really mostly for lining. It's a lining leather and it's gorgeous. Where I used to work, we sold a pig suede that I think was like a 1.5 ounce. The majority of what we sold in that was purple. And it's just, I wouldn't say it's as pretty as this. It was a little washed out, but it's for kneeling benches in churches. And we sold a bunch of it. So yeah, you can line or, upholstery. When you bump up from that, like say to 2 to 3, maybe 3 to 4, now you're kind of getting into the garment weights. I don't really do a lot of garment weight, and there's no reason I shouldn't. I really should dive into that side of it. I just love the veg and all that you can do with that. But now, I mean, that opens up a million possibilities when you jump over, say, to the garment and upholstery side of leather. Now, you need a machine. You need to machine the lighter weights. Well, you kind of really do. There's a trick to where, as opposed to when we're sewing, hand sewing, instead of giving tension out, we can give tension long, and that helps a little bit. But hand sewing just doesn't look as good on your softer chromes, with some exceptions. It just doesn't look as good as it does on the veg tan because the veg has got that body. But yeah, when you dive into the chrome side, machines, there's no end to the possibilities. And that's a whole area I've yet to really explore, and I need to. But Brandon, let us know too, if you want to pitch in there, be a little more specific on your weight, and let us know. So, but Bob, man, thanks for chiming in on that one, y'all. Thank you for helping out. Oh man, let's see, Rock Leatherworks. Let's see, Chuck, when I was serving in Kandahar, thank you for your service. I purchased camel leather. Let's see, I purchased camel leather made bag. Let's see, what a nice piece of leather. Wish I still had contact and be able to get some more. That's a trip, but I guess that just makes sense. We do a lot of cow. Horse, we don't do a lot of horse. Now, I understand the leather upholster makers like the horse because it's a much more dense leather. That's really about all I don't know if I've ever dealt with horse. But yeah, it's supposed to be a good leather, and the holster makers seem to absolutely love it. Oh, let's see, Vanessa Kitty. I'm jumping way ahead here. I'll try to read. I know some help would help, but the cavalry's not on their way. Their email said we're not on our way. Anyway, Vanessa Kitty, I'm making frame saw sheaths. That goes to mixing wood and leather. Very cool. Leather sheaths. We've got a video on a traditional leather sheath, but mixing wood and leather, man, that is 2 phenomenal crafts that combine to do some beautiful work. We do a leather sheath, but I've seen a wooden sheath made to where you make the core out of wood and then glue the leather onto that. Unlimited possibilities and decoration there. And I've seen them made, and it doesn't look terribly difficult. Man, I would love to go that route. But Vanessa Kitty, very cool, mixing the two. Beautiful. Okay, back to the top. Brandon, I use moose. That caught my eye. Love to see and feel some moose. And I'm wondering if it's more like maybe like a deer tan cow, maybe probably thicker, but I'm wondering if it's got that good supple feel to it, or the hair on would be gorgeous too. I've got uh, a reindeer hide upstairs in our living room on one of our walls over our fireplace, and wow, that's a beautiful hide. But that's a thick leather in it. That's thick hair. It's beautiful. It's one of those projects I'd love to make something out of. Too scared to cut into it, which that goes against everything we do here. But is it just me, right? Um, let's see, Bob Haney. There you go, man. I hope you're doing all right this evening. This evening for you, or morning. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's late at night for you, Bob. But thanks for being here, man. Very much so. Ben Cartwright. Oh, I hope I was able to help. I hope sometimes I can get a good answer in, but I hope too that if I don't have an answer, I'll be honest about it and say, instead of, I don't want to give out bad information. That's the one thing but Ben, I hope that works for you. Very much so. Let's see. Rock Leather Works. All right, gonna miss half the meeting. Got to leave at 15:25. We'll watch tonight. We'll shout out to you and we'll see you this evening, man. But thanks for being here. Moby Brick Flicks, the armor. I know I just brought armor. We haven't moved forward on that yet. I'm the one dragging my feet. Maybe yes and maybe no. I'm dying to do some good armor. We're doing seasonal right now. And in fact, I'm going to ask for your help here in a second. We're doing a seasonal project or several. If I could get these out faster, we'd do several, but I'm on one, working through it. Let's jump over to that. I need y'all's help. Okay. And I'll drop your comment in, and most likely I'll see it later today, but I'm kind of full steam ahead on this one. I'll say, okay, so we're going to do a wood carrier. All right, first off, I had one of these. I had a house in North Georgia, lived way up out in the country, out in the mountains. We'll come back to this. The point here is that I had a wood burning heat. I didn't have central heat and air. Didn't need it in the summer up there, but in the winter I had a big wood burning stove. Loved it. Still chopping and getting wood. You would think, what a headache. No, 7 years of that. I still love it. The point is, I had one of these, and I carried. I'm not kidding. I bet I carried more than 7 cords, at least 7 cords of wood over 7 years in that thing. I didn't even have the cool little strap. I would put so much wood in this that I would have to hold it with the handles, right? Less trips for firewood. That thing never gave out. And it was rivets. I'm going to use rivets on this one. I was thinking Chicago screws for strength, but that thing never gave out. I don't know where it is. I was looking. It looks rough. It is not camera ready. I'm not sure what I did with it. It might be one of my bins. But anyway, okay, so here's the point. Help me out here. My first thought was, let's just go easy. Let's just make, just 1-inch strap handles, screw those on. We'll do a strap and let's just make a wood carrier. Okay. Then I made one and I thought, okay, we got to do some tooling. And now it gets out of control. Okay. I love this border. I think that is a gorgeous border. Technically it's inverted tooling, but really there's not any tooling to it. We're stamping. So basically it's inverted. That's where instead of bringing the impression out, we push it in, and it's gorgeous, super easy to do. But then I thought, you know what? We need some leaves on this. It's a wood carrier. So now we're doing tooling some leaves. Well, the point with the leaves, they're easy. So if you're new to tooling or you want to kind of get a feel for tooling, we're doing white poplar leaves. Super easy to do. We only use 2 tools. Okay, so now we've got the leaves on it. Okay, well, we got to do trunk handles, or we can do mystery braid handles. Well, okay, now you can see it's out of control already. What are we going to do? All right, so I dyed it. I think I tooled it and then dyed it and let it dry overnight. So I come back in the next morning and I look at it. My thought is, no, we're doing this one. Let's go full on, damn the torpedoes. Let's make the coolest one we can make. Okay. What do you think? Should we go full on, or should we go with a more simple design that maybe the folks that are new, it's a basic design. And I mentioned that in the pattern portion that, here's our basic design. We can do just 2 simple straps and just the main body. What do you think? Should we go full on, or should I back off, do a simple one, and just maybe show some possibilities? I'm kind of torn on this one. Miriam, she works with us. I asked her earlier because I wanted to know, okay, our views. do we get more views on the more simple projects that, somebody with not a lot of skill can knock together, have a great time with? Or is it better if we go full on, man? Let's go all out. She said, go all out. She said, go all out, judging from comments and views and all that. She's the brains behind the operation. I just make the weather. So as it stands, I'm going full on, but I'm worried about this thing getting a little bit long because we're going to do some trunk handles. They're easy, but some explanation. Tooling, easy. Border left, right. We're going to dye it. I was going to go with an undyed or with a pre-dyed leather with our holster leather. But the color, that's we'll hold it up again. That's the walnut with a leather bomb top coat. Man, that just looks like it belongs on a hearth, right? And the wood, it matches wood, All right, so anyway. All right, so that's my spiel on that one. Let me know what you think, It'd be a big help to me. Give me some confidence to go full steam ahead, or maybe I kind of retool this thing. Let's go easy and, offer some options there. Anyway, okay, so here's one. Do you ever notice how your workspace gets smaller and smaller the further you get on a project, or is that just me? All right. I'm not. Use a tool, put it back. Yeah, my mind's on the project. So therefore, I can start with this big empty table. And by the time I'm putting rivets in, I'm moving stuff out of the way so I can put. Does anybody else do that? Or is that just me? Right. Okay, if anybody else does that, well, okay, now we all don't feel so bad. So let's see. Okay, I lost my place because I'm jumping around, but nothing new. Blah blah. The boss isn't in today, so free to move about the cabin. All right. Also, too, we're working on off on another spiel. Really, Chuck, can you stick to what you're? All right. Anyway, so Christmas gifts or gifts for the season. So I've got 3 of them tooled. Oh man, I need like 7. So we're getting there. But I was going to show this too, because now with our suede's on sale, wouldn't that be beautiful to cut out our backgrounding, maybe a little less, maybe fill in with a leaf so we don't have so much, but maybe do a filigree with a piece of red suede behind that, black and red with nickel. But oh man, rolling. So now, all right, let's put some thought into that. That would be beautiful. That'd be a lot of work. So I'd probably only make one of those, to maybe my folks. So anyway, all right. Let's see. I'm going to jump back over here. Y'all, I'm way behind. Sorry. Guns and Diesel 419. Hope you're doing all right. Glad to have you here. Jack Bishop, how you doing? Ballstar 1123. Always happy to see you, man. Let's see. Okay, Chris. Let's see. Good afternoon, Chuck. This one. Do you have any ideas for sealing up a seam that was folded open and top stitched on each side? Like what you see in a leather car seat. Chris, I'm sorry to say I might need a visual. It's really hard. And not in our defense on this one, it's really hard to type a question or an answer because we're talking about something visually. And the reason I mention that is because we get a lot of questions. And y'all, thank you. And we'll do our best to give you good answers fast. But sometimes I can really get lost in trying to describe something verbally when, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Yeah, it gets tough to do. I mean, it turns into, like a 3-paragraph answer, and I don't want somebody to get an email back and look at that and go, geez, I just asked a simple question. Chris, I might need a little more information on that. Oh, man, Caleb Williams. Hi, Chuck. Never thought it would happen. Lost inspiration for new projects this week. Caleb, it happens. It absolutely does. You know what? Your shop is there when you're ready. When possibly you will see something, a product, or flipping through a website, you'll see, wow. Oh, and then boom, you're on it. That motivation will come out of nowhere. Dude, it happens. Same here. It happens. I get caught up in making the products for the videos and samples, for leather elements and the videos. And I kind of tend not to make stuff for myself, which is where the ideas for the leather elements and the project videos come from. So I'm kind of shooting myself in my foot, right? I keep working on that, but man, it happens. Just give it a little while. Step back. Something will come to you. you'll dive back into that shop and have a blast doing it. It happens, man. Jason Gomez, Indiana, is in the house. I hope you're doing all right. Rick, greetings from stormy Seattle. Oh man, I'm happy you're with us today. Very much so. Sounds like you're having some rain up there. Um, Athens, Georgia, Donnie Roberts. I hope you're doing all right. Customer and friend. Let's see. Columbia, Missouri, Kevin Boffa. Hope you're doing good. Man, y'all, it's a pleasure. I just going through the comments. I want to say hello to everybody. And that's kind of where all this, the opening statements come from. I want to say hello to everybody from last week that I didn't get to say hello to, y'all. So hello, everybody. Michael Tesson, Handmade, Germany. Glad to have you with us. Honored, very much so. Let's see. All right, John Simpson. Hi, Chuck. I am saddle stitching a few Leatherman cases as I watch this. Hello from BC, Canada. Hello right back to you, friendly neighbors to the north. Man, total immersion. Got some video on, working on some leather. It's a good day. That's exactly right. Oh man, okay, D Ford. I took your advice. Oh, I hope it's good. I hope it's good advice. I bought a number of leather coats at auction. Oh, I bet you got him for a song. Looking forward to using the leather. I hope you can, and I hope you use every square inch of that. Man, you pay a low price, you use every bit of it. Score! That's right. Good, man. I hope that's good advice. Hope you got some good leather at a good price, and it sounds like. Okay, let's see. Albert Edward Glines II. Hello from Texas. Hello, right back to Texas. Man, big friendly state. Okay, Kenyet, Sarsen Beck. Excuse me, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Kazakhstan. You want to open your own business. Man, is that a ray of sunshine? You know what? I'm going to say a prayer. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that you are absolutely successful in that. You've got to keep us up to date. Keep us up to date. Everybody here wants to hear that. Absolutely. That's very cool. One of us dives in. Good luck with that, man. Jeremy Alexander, Texas. Very cool. Stuart, hi all from the Lake District, UK. Oh no, had a small fire in my shed and lost half my tools. Stuart, I am really sorry to hear about that, man. I'm really sorry to hear about that. I hope you find some new stuff at a good price and you get back up and running pretty quick. Oh, let's see. Okay, JD Restorations, greetings from Pennsylvania. Got to spend a year, my junior year in high school in Pennsylvania, Doylestown. I'm still talking about that. The people and the food. And I mean, it was Norman Rockwell, man. It was anyway, enough of me. Let's see, I'm a newbie and had a fail. Made a wallet, made my stitching too far into the card pockets and cards won't fit. And maybe I'll frame it, use it as a reminder of what not to do. Does anybody have projects that are a good example of what we should not do? I got a box of them. Man, well, you know what? You're fine. You know what? We learned that. You know what? Lesson learned. We take that information and move to the next one. And you know what? You'll never make that mistake again. That's actually, it kind of works into the plus for you on that one. We can always turn that around to a plus. Excuse me, cough button. Yay. Let's see. Yeah, okay, Matthew Denty. Cheap practice beats expensive mistakes. That's exactly right. Good one. You're exactly right. Let's see. Okay, Moby Brick Flakes. I think I lost the thread on that one. Let's see, Josh. Leather workers had to know how to work with wood to stretch hides. That you're exactly right, and you're right. The crafts to this day go hand in hand. I mean, no kidding. If you talk to a woodworker, our steps are almost identical, and the processes are almost the same. It's actually kind of weird how close the two are together. But woodworkers, they seem to be just like leather workers, a very friendly bunch. And boy, do they do some good work. Oh, and blacksmiths too. Again, a very friendly bunch. Now, a lot of them, they're a little secretive about, but that's all right. That's all right. Let's see. Okay, Tim Kearns, we're in PA. Absolutely. Let's see. Oh, Turkey, Babalik. Greetings right back to Turkey. I hope you're doing good. Um, I this is weird. Back to me, but this is fun. I have Google Map or Google Earth on my phone. I'm a model railroader, so what I do is go to cities and look at their yards and roundhouses. But I've started looking at other cities, and they've got the street view on the app, so you can plop yourself right down in the middle of Paris or wherever and look around. That to me, I can spend hours doing that. And I'm not, I mean, the museums, love the museums, absolutely. History, yeah, yeah. I want to see the people. I want to see what everybody does on their average day. Where do they shop? What do they buy? What music do they listen to? And I was in Turkey the other night. I know that's funny. I was in Turkey the other night. Not really, but man, the architecture. Wow. So glad you're here, man. Very much so. Let's see. Okay, Hyde Forge. Oh, well, I'm glad you jumped in to say hi. If you get to watch it later, hey, hey, that's y'all. It's good to hear from everybody. Um, let's see. Okay, Moby Brickflix. Check the Little Wonder. Someone tipped me off to that. Okay, good. I might have lost a thread there. Oh no. Oh man. Okay, Christopher Gould, man. Christopher Craft fail. Oh, drop blue dye onto a wallet that was black dyed, so simply rubbed it in and came out gray. Really? Score! Fail turned. All right. Let's see. Friend in Wales could not wait to get his hands on it. There you go, man. Very cool. Save. That's, yeah. Once in a while we can save them. Once in a while we consider it a prototype, and other times we consider that part of the original design. That's a giant. That was in the design. Yeah. Don't, yeah. So anyway, okay. Let's see, Roro. Man, good luck back to you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Yeah, okay, let's see. All right, so I'm back to where I was. All right, y'all. Sorry, I'm way behind here. Um, let's see. Okay, David Rooney, best veg tan for lining the watch strap, something water resistant. Man, veg and water resistant don't really typically go together. Um, man, I tell you, like a 2 to 3, maybe a 2 to 3 veg, way down there at the absolute bottom. Um, and then we don't have to worry about rub off, and it looks good. A lot of the high end belts use a natural veg as a liner, and it looks really good. But right there, no worries about rub off. Yay, that's what we're looking for. Um, Man, I might just say a veg and then do something like a leather balm. A leather balm on that would it give it a nice feel and give it a little bit of gloss, a little bit of pop. The leather balm looks great on a natural veg, gives it a nice gloss. It's beautiful. And I should do a project that way just to show what it looks like. But I dye antique, man, that's the route. That's the route. Um, Oh, Susan M. There's a connection. You and your husband do leather craft. Glad to hear that. My wife and I have talked about that. Once we retire, maybe doing some craft shows. Just kind of less for the money, but more as to pay to go. To pay for the trip. Go to Vegas or Arizona or wherever, and maybe pay for the trip to a craft show. We've talked about that. Watch, at the time I'm 65, I go, crap, I'm tired of this. Wouldn't that be? No, I'm not going to do that. Too deep in my blood. And y'all are probably the same way. It goes deep. Anyway, okay. Oh, dude, Christopher Gold. I turned bowls on my wood lathe. That's something I'd like to pick up. And inlaying with leather. Wow. Boy, does that open up a whole range of possibilities. Um, Man, oh, that's got I can't boy, I'd like to sit down and just think on that one for a minute. Um, let's see, Rick. All right, what's the best way to smooth down leather that is fuzzy, shaggy on the backside? Age-old problem, Rick, and I don't have a good answer for you. Yeah, I use gum trag. That's always a good thought. Maybe a top coat or a gum trag. Um, Nothing. And I'm sorry to say that's typically the quality of the leather if it's real fuzzy on the back. Um, There's nothing you can. And I've tried. I've tried. I've had that piece of leather. I've got 1 square foot left. I need a 10 by 10 inch piece and it's shaggy. Man, there's nothing you can do. And maybe not. But if the leather's a little bit soft over that, the dye, it's going to pool in there and it's going to stay. I've tried everything, and I'm with you on this one. I'm sorry I don't have a good answer. I've tried skiving it. That just made it worse. Sandpaper made it worse. I've tried scissors. That made it worse. I've tried a razor blade. I've used the hand skive to try to skive. Man, Rick, I'm sorry to say I don't have a good answer for you that. Let's see. Oh, Josh, your crafter's stupid. That's already taken. All right, I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to go over why I say that, because I really pulled a dumb one here. Okay. Let's see. Was dyeing belt, had 4 done perfectly. Dripped brown dye onto a complicated belt. Oh man, I just jumped all the way forward. Anyway, okay, so I got the gist of that. Man, I hit the dad. It went all the way to the end. Y'all, sorry about that. Let me see if I can get back to. I kind of get the gist of it. Deglazer, no, man, the brown, it wicks. It's in. Man, I lost that. I'm sorry about that. Again, help would be, helpful to me here. Dude, I'll find it. But in the meantime, let's jump over here, because talking about the craft stupid, I'm only going to use that term on me, y'all. That's not for y'all. Anyway, so I'm tooling one of these sleigh bell straps, and I'm kind of moving along. I think I'm probably beveling. Well, I don't know if you can see, but I use these little clamp lights on either side of my tooling slab, right? So I got good light on both sides, and I'm just using like 40-watt bulbs. I'm not trying to blast the light in. So I'm tooling along. I get up and I walk away and I come back, and I'm tooling, but I can't figure out why I can't see the tooling well. I clean my glasses. I'm tooling along 15 minutes or so, and I can't see why I can't figure out why I can't see the leather as well as I do. Okay, here's what happened. When I walked away, this light on that side slid down. Now, what makes it worse? Okay, well, that's not a big problem. What is worse is that I've got the wire running through the clip, so it goes up to the ceiling. So as the light goes down, it turns up. It's literally right in my eyes. I didn't look at it. I didn't see it. So I'm tooling along, getting this blast of light in my eyes. I finally figure this out. Duh. I have to stand up because my eyes are so dilated, I can't see anything because I've had this blast of light in my eyes for 20 straight minutes with the glasses on. I'm sure that's a big help. So anyway, a craft, really? So that's a craft or stupid for me. Well, I'm the only one that's going to use that, but y'all, really? And that's all I can say. Really? So yeah, I'm going to call that a craft or stupid because somebody wasn't paying attention. I'm not going to point fingers here, even though I was working by myself. Let's see. Okay, so I'm back over here. Okay, Christopher, my fails I call samples. There you go. The bright side, right? Look on the bright side of life, right? Okay, so anyway, all right. Let's see. Oh no, Vanessa Kitty, make a shelf of shame for those and just move on. Push on. You're right. We never learn anything without first filling up your trash can. It is true. If we didn't have to pay for the leather, no problem. But also too, it's a good point. With a lot of our leather, we're buying it. We can use the scraps all the way down to that big a piece, a little glue tab or a bridge, like say on a credit card case. Like say we've got 2 pockets, we've got 2-ply pockets and a 1-ply across the bend. When you go to groove that, you're going to dip and your groover's going to jump. But we can use that as a little bridge behind that. I think that's in one of the Leather Element shop tricks. I think. Anyway, okay. All right, let's see. Okay, Christopher should be stitches. Sounds like the second half of a conversation with a spell check. Bane of our existence, let me tell you. Let's see. Okay, Jeremy Alexander, that was on my homework. And yes, I haven't gotten there yet. What I understand is that we should be sending out the correct blades, both in the strap cutter, and I think you get an extra blade or two. I got an email on that, and I probably didn't read the second half. That kind of seems to be a common theme in my world. Yes, I think we've got that figured out. So, but Jeremy, anybody, if y'all getting something you're not happy with, let us know about it. Absolutely, let us know about it. That we pride ourselves on our quality, and our people too. I hope everybody has a great experience with Weaver. I certainly have. I work here, and um, I I'm always surprised. I'm always surprised at the quality of people and leather and products. So, but so if you're unhappy, let us know. That's exactly right. Let us know. Leo Wild, the Woodlands, Texas. Man, got some Woodlands folks in here. Um, if you weren't here earlier, Leo, I grew up in Spring, went to Klein High School. Graduated from Sam. Let's see. Okay, Josh, I bought two water buffalo sides and they are beautiful. I'm glad you're happy with them. I love the Crazy Horse water buffalo. Oh man, it's a pull-up leather. All right, so if you're new or unfamiliar with pull-up, because I didn't know what this meant for years and years either. So the tannery this is typically a hide with some oil and some dye in it. So what the tannery is going to do is they're going to drop in a dye that's a little lighter than the oil, the color of the oil. So therefore, when we bend the hide, that dye is going to pull up. It's going to pull up through that oil. That's the color we're going to see. It's almost a distressed look. But when we bend that back down, that color is going to remain a little bit. But because of the oils in that, we can literally rub back over that spot and it will absolutely disappear. So that's a pull-up leather. And I love them. Our Crazy Horse is distressed. We've got a denim. Okay. I'm doing a class for a friend and his daughter. She's 14, I think, and just having a blast. She's the sweetest thing. The manners are impeccable. She's interested. We're making a purse on her end right now. We're doing the sleigh bells on Roberto's side. I forgot where I was going with that. Totally forgot where I was going. All right, so everybody get up and go get a cup of coffee because it's going to take Chuck 5 minutes to get back around to what he was thinking. Crap. Oh, I know. Okay, yeah. All right, so are you back for getting coffee or the bathroom? Yeah. So I gave her just like I don't know, a 3-inch piece of the denim water buffalo, and it's a gorgeous color. I have just a little bit left. I think I made a video with it. I can't remember now. Anyway, so Roberto said the first thing she did when she got home was make a belt out of that denim. God, that makes me feel good, right? Does my heart good. She's that interested in the leather craft. I hope that's something she will have her whole life. That's cool when we can spread the craft, right? And not just for us, but just to see somebody grab it and run with it. And a lot of times the student becomes the teacher. That's happened with me before. I'm top-notch tooler. I am not, right? You know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But I've gotten a couple of folks started and they'd like the tooling and just blow past me with the tooling. You know what? I love to see that. I love to see that. They're having a great time with it. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Renee. I hope I'm saying that right. Berlin, Germany. Starting on my first leather wallet. I hope you have a good time with that. Let's see. Okay, I'm pushing buttons over here and I shouldn't be. Yeah, I'm not the one to be pushing buttons here. In fact, this is if we go dark, well, I missed something. Anyway, but at least I did get the door closed. So we're not going to have cats and dogs and everybody want to go out right now. Let's see. Okay. Is that Tumanoma? Chuck, I remember your favorite product I mix were light brown and mahogany. Any other good combos to recommend? Man, I don't really. That's a gorgeous color. And we talked about that last. You don't have to show us the sample, Chuck. We saw it. Anyway, a light brown and a mahogany makes, to me, it's a very traditional, very rich leather color. So, but other than that, we can get a purple. And I don't think we talked about mixing dyes last week, and I missed this part. We can get a pretty good purple mixing the blue and the red and the pro dyes. It's not a real light purple. Orange, we could get a good orange. I mean, like UT or Tennessee orange, with red and yellow. I think it's red and yellow. I think so. I think so. Anyway, play with them. What you can do is get what a syringe or a little eyedropper, and just a small cup. Get some dye, just enough to make, like, if you do like 4 drops of each color, that's like a 1-to-1 mix. Well, that gives you just enough to get on a dauber and apply some, so you get a good feel for the color, but you're really not wasting much dye. Try that, because there's all kinds of cool directions you can go. I'm trying to think. There's another mix I've used in the past, but cannot think of it right off. Walnut, the walnut, I love a medium brown. The walnut is a beautiful, very earth tone brown, but it's a little bit dark. I'm trying to think if I've done like a walnut in a light brown. I can't really remember, but we also have a yellow in there, and the red is beautiful. So there's all kinds of possibilities. Anybody that's got a good mix, drop it in. Let us know. Um, let's see. All right. Okay, Vanessa Kitty. Yeah. Oh, a harness leather, utility bag design. Man, that's going to be solid and secure. That's going to last longer than we will. I think a lot of our products will last longer than we will. Um, let's see. Oh, Portugal. Man, I hope you're doing good. Man, I keep hitting the cursor down, and it slams me to the bottom. Um, all right, let me. You know what? I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom, and back up. Yeah, okay. Flashpoint Bravo. No, I was supposed to look into that. We don't. I don't think we have a black similar to the Pines Milled. Man, I was supposed to look into that. That was my homework. This is just like high school. I didn't do my homework there either. Um, no, but look, go to the website on that. I'm sorry, waiting on me to do something. I told you I'd do something, I didn't. That's ridiculous. Check the website, but I don't think so. In that Pines Mill, boy, it's a beautiful leather, but I don't. Seems we do, but I might be thinking of the pull up. I might be thinking of the pull up, which is going to have a bunch more body there. Um, man, forgive me. I'm gonna write that down right on the front. Um, let me see what I can find for you. Let me look through. Let me ask some questions. I'm a little detached. Um, when I worked in the retail store, I knew every leather. I knew every piece of leather in that building, and the SKU number on it. I don't work at the home office. I don't work at the mothership. So I when I'm there, I get to walk through the warehouse and touch and feel and ooh and ah, and I want some of this and some of this. We have so much leather. I don't know if I could make a project out of each type of leather in a lifetime. Well, that's good, but at the same time, let me see what I can do there. Yeah, Flashpoint Bravo, no worries, Chuck. Um, can I call Weaver Nash? You absolutely can, and you will reach some good people. Yeah, call customer service. They'll either be able to help you, or they'll send you to somebody that certainly can. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Mac Attack 001. On your leather armor, you harden that with water and baking. I was wondering, is that leather water resistant once it um no, not I wouldn't say it's water resistant. Now, I'm a little I can't be of a huge help here, because the majority of what I bake harden is 14 to 15 ounce, or sometimes 18 to 20 ounce. It's not really going to give. And at the same time, my armor has never really been in a solid full on downpour. Um, my thought here is that a good top coat, if it's raining on, a good top coat's going to repel some of that. If we do a top coat backside, Skyver flesh side, that's going to help as well, but it's leather. We've got holes, edges, chisel holes, rivet holes, water's going to get in. The one trick is it's going to get wet, but the one trick is, let's don't put that in our trunk. I'm guilty. I'm not throwing stones here, but put it in our trunk wet, or throw it in a pile in the corner wet. You notice I have two good examples right off the top of my head. Yeah. I would just sit it in a position to where, as it dries, it'll remain in shape. I haven't done a lot of experimenting with the pieces. I'd like to bake one and try to break it and see what happens. Is it going to crack or is it going to bend bad? Again, with the water, if we wet it and soak it, what's going to happen? Is it going to soften and I need to reharden? Oh man, that's just, you know what? I'll put that on my list of the 10,000 things I want to do with leather. Man, on that one, I'm sorry. As long as you don't really get caught up in a full downpour or fall in a lake, there's some alcohol involved at Ren fairs. I'm not pointing fingers, that might be a problem. But for general use, I've never had an issue. And it's going to soften over time. There's about 4 or 5, maybe 6 of us in a group that go to Ren fairs. These are all old friends. They all have suits of armor. I'll make one for me, wear it a year or two, and then it's given to them. And some of these are going to soften, just with simple use and going in a pile or going in a tub, right in a bin. It's going to soften over time. I can't honestly say that. That 18 to 20 ounce, the suit I tend to wear, it's on the right side. It's got some blue tooling on it. Man, that thing is never softened up. But it's a 20 to 22 ounce, and I think the Cuirass and lighter weight pieces are 14 to 16 ounce, maybe somewhere in that. I can't really remember. It's a Keiko leather. It really is. I've never had a problem with that. Man, on that one, I think normal. You know what? I rant. All right. I don't think it's a big problem as long as it's not a super soaker. Yeah. So I think you might be all right. Let's see. Okay. Josh, I have fallen in love with a saddle tan pro dye. It's a beautiful color, isn't it? It's a reddish brown. But again, to me, I'm with you, Josh. That's like one of those traditional leather colors. But too, if we want to go with an antique, it's going to darken. We want to go with a leather balm, it's going to darken. If we start with that saddle tan, we're going to come down to a beautiful, beautiful color. All right, let's see. Okay, Christian, match it. I'm falling behind here because Christian, you've got a good answer. 1 part red to 6 parts saddle tan is supposed to give a nice, vibrant orange. 1 part red, 6 parts saddle. I need to try that. That's a good call. That's a good call. Let's see. Okay, working my way back up. Totally disorganized. And why be different today? Why be different? Okay, Kate Anderson. Any suggestions on how to make round leather cord? I see a lot of videos. Yeah. I've never made round leather cord. Okay. But maybe some of my experience might be able to help. I'm going to stand up over here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is our anvil. This is one of the anvils we sell. Man, I don't know what this weighs. It's got to be 15 pounds. Anyway, there are holes on this for drawing cording, to create cording. So what I'm thinking on this point, let me put this over here. What I'm thinking on this point is much like drawing wire, metal wire. Man, you need a hole size of what you're working with, and then might be able to strap that bed stand. Say we're going to do a 1/4 inch. Well, let's cut us a 1/4 inch strap of 8 to 9 ounce. That's going to be a little thin. Man, I'm sorry I'm rolling on this one. I don't really have a good answer for you. But along those lines, maybe that will give you an idea that might lead to a thread as to how to create the cording. Man, I'm sorry, I don't have a good answer on that one. See if that helps even a little bit. All right. Let's see. Goodness. It's 3:50, 6 minutes to 4 o'clock. I swear I thought it was like 3:20. I looked down and think, okay, how are we doing? It's 3:20. I still got a lot to do here. No. We might do, okay, all right. Let's jump over to this real quick because the armor question. And y'all, if you're not into armor, I'm sorry, I tend to go that way an awful lot. But this is interesting. Kerbuli, so kerbuli I think literally means boiled leather. I believe that's right. So anyway, this is from the 1200s and the 1300s as a way to create hardened leather armor because it was used for horse armor. Because if you think about it, metal armor on a horse, that's going to start getting ridiculous heavy for the horse. And then you've got a knight with mail and armor on top. Just not, you can't do that. So a lot of the Kerbuli was used for horse armor, but for the lower ranks too, that couldn't afford a suit of armor, metal armor. So it's a good armor. But the funny thing about this is, in doing some research on this, and I have not delved deep into this, but what it sounds like is that the boiled leather, the Kerbuli, none of the recipes have anything to do with boiled leather. So, it's one of those things in history. But anyway, there's even paperwork. Let's see. All right, on tournaments. Okay, and this is funny. If you've ever seen, I think it's a Monty Python film, tournaments. Okay, knights come together because this was a job fair. This out of work knights would go to tournaments, show off their skills. They could get hired. So a tournament literally was a job fair. Well, here's the problem. Knights get killed, and then it's not common. They did their best not to, but it happens. So in Monty Python, there's one of the scenes where it shows the royal family up in the thing, watching and then boom, there's two knights come together and they're splattered with blood. Okay, well, now we're down two knights. So it happens again, and ultimately, then it's seen they're just covered in blood. All the knights are dead. So they got to come up with a better way to do this. So what they come up with is the big tournament is hide and go seek, right? Yeah, so we're going to do hide and go seek instead of jousting. So the next scene, there's knights, sneaking through the compound. Anyway, so leather armor, it was huge. But if we take that a little bit further, buckets, you can make a great bucket out of leather. The fireman's hats, the helmets, until I think the 80s was pressed leather, because it doesn't burn. You can burn leather, but it's hard to get leather to burn, and it doesn't melt. So it made a perfect helmet, but also it can dissipate some heat. So it's also good, not great, but it's good for dissipating heat as well. And there are okay, so I'm going to stop here. The history of leather. We're going to kind of talk about this. The oldest piece of leather footwear. The oldest piece of leather footwear was made in Armenia around 3500 BC. Yeah, it's almost 6,000 years ago. But here's another piece. And like I said, this is a rabbit hole. And the cool thing here is that, A, we're working in a craft we've been working on for millennia. But B, ideas. There's an unlimited trove of ideas through history. And if you Google some of this, Wikipedia, great information. But if you start Googling like historical furniture or footwear, there's no end to the unbelievably cool leather products you're going to see 1,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. There's one note in here I copied. The earliest eyed sewing needles. All right, a sewing needle probably looks just like the sewing needle that we're using, but probably made from horn or bone or ivory 43,000 years ago. In southern Siberia. Yeah, we were cold, baby. We were making clothing. Oh, okay. So anyway, so the point here is that look through history. There is some of the most beautiful work you have ever seen done 2,000 years ago. So, all right. So history of leather. I did not a leather lesson, on history. Okay, in 13. No, but it's very cool. Veg tan hasn't changed in, I think, three or 4,000 years. We're still tanning with oak. Oak, how about Herman oak? Yeah, that's oak bark, leaves. We can make tannic acid out of acorns in our backyard. It's a process. Let me tell you, I learned something a long time ago. I got a deer skin. Somebody got a deer, gave me the hide. I tanned it. Oh, man. I learned one big lesson. Just buy them. Just buy the thing and move on with your life. It came out nicely. I tanned it hair on. It was stiff. So I made, I think I made a sheath out of it. I can't remember what else. The hair stuck. It stuck nicely, but it took 2 weeks of soaking it and then borax. And in fact, okay, back over to the historical part. In Japan, tanners were not allowed to be in the city. Tannery employees were below peasants. Yeah, I mean, like several steps below peasants. They weren't even allowed to tan near the city because of the odor. Yeah. So, yeah, Rome, and I again, don't hold me to this because I haven't done, factual studies on this, but it looks like Rome consumed a million hides of leather a year. That's not what's in circulation. It's estimated 3 million hides were in circulation. A million, that's some leather production 2,000 years ago. And it's veg tan, probably just like what we're working. I think chrome tan came around 1850, maybe somewhere in there, mid 1800s, and patent leather, maybe early in the 20th century. Actually, and this is a fun fact, patent leather is the only patented product with the name patent actually in the name of the product. I don't think that's changed, but I've heard that several times. So, okay, 4 o'clock, we're going to start wrapping it up. I've talked enough. Tech, we don't get along. Nah, we do, but I like to complain. It's one of my strengths. Go with your strengths. Okay. So anyway, it's 4 o'clock. We're gonna work on saying goodbye, but again, we're gonna say, okay, bye, y'all, and then talk for another 20 minutes. But I wanna, yeah, I want to say hello to everybody. I really do. But I'll read every comment. I'll read every question. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's see. Ashley V. You missed the beginning. That's okay. It'll be on YouTube later. But also, we'll be back next week at 3 o'clock. Absolutely. And we'll have a whole new set of fails. I'm sure I'll pull some stupids. I mean, I'd almost put money on that. We'll have a good theme. Okay, the history of leather, it's fun. But we'll do a better theme next week. At like 2:58, I looked down at that and thought, oh, boo. But it is kind of cool. I hope it's kind of cool. But if you do look into the history of leather, it literally, you're going down the rabbit hole because there's no end. Leather has done everything for us. In my opinion, I think we are technologically because of leather. Now, that's a stretch, but at the same time, yeah, okay. I'm not going to roll on that one. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Anyway, so that Harv guy, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here, man. Ahmed Galeb Dalu, a pleasure. Honored that you're here. Everybody, it's a pleasure. I'm going to try to work my way back up. Oh, here we go, Josh. Josh, you're back from getting your coffee. Okay, he's picking up right where he left 30 minutes ago. Let's see. Oh man, okay, so well, this is actually a different one. Yeah, y'all will get used to this. Yeah. Christian, I dipped out a watch band in light brown. Okay. Black dyed the edges while the leather was still wet, then put a generous coating of leather balm on top. Absolutely gorgeous color. Man, I'd love to see a pic of that. I would love to see a pic of that. Man, I know. All of a sudden, everybody's thinking, "Oh, wait a minute, I got a cool idea." Y'all, all right, so we're going to start wrapping it up for this week. Y'all absolutely make this a pleasure for me, and I hope it's fun for y'all. I really do. We'll be back next week. Yeah, talking about metal bracelet blanks quarter. That's exactly right. They've got some great videos out there, and I'm glad that we've teamed up with somebody that with such quality and great ideas and great projects. I'm as happy as I can be with that. Let's see. Moving down to the bottom. And again, if I don't say hello or goodbye to you by name, forgive me. I will certainly read every one of these. Let's see. Okay, Christopher, look forward to seeing you next week as well. Amazing, Andrea, you're with us. Good to hear from you. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, everybody's pitching in at what time it is at home. I got no idea. We put that. Doesn't seem to work for anybody, but we'll stick with 3. We'll keep it consistent. Hope that helps everybody out. Bob, cheers right back to you folks. Christian, I hope so, man. Henry County, Georgia. All right. Got a local there. Very nice. Y'all, as always, I look forward to my Wednesday afternoons, and I hope y'all feel the same way. step away from 2020. Man, like I said, 2020 is dead to me. Dead to me. But y'all, it's a pleasure always. If I don't get to your question, I will. I'd like to say if you've got a question, I'll put it in the homework section, but well, we've seen how that goes. But I'll do my best on that one. I really will, y'all. Aiden, let's see. Okay, yeah, okay. Aiden, I'm sorry. I think I may have seen this question. I've been using antique finish on some of my work lately, and I love it. Yeah. And I found that sealing it with acrylic resin interferes with my antique. Man, I don't know because I can't see the problem, and that again goes back to we're trying to describe something that visually, thousand words and all that. Man, I don't know. I don't use Resolene. I don't use a lot of Resolene. I try it now and then. Man, I'm sorry I can't answer that one without more information or without a visual on that. My only thought is that the Resolene is reconstituting the antique, and I'm sure you've probably given it ample time to dry. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, without further help on that, I can't get you a good answer. What I tend to do is when I paint, I go with the saddle lac because it's a spray on. So there's no buffing, but saddle lac, there's some tricks to it. So I've almost gotten to the point where I don't suggest saddle lac. I love it. I love it. But man, I don't know. I'm sorry on that one. I can't really tell you. I wish I had a better answer for that. If you figure it out, if you try a different top coat or you try a different process, please let us know because a lot of us use the Resolene and love it and are going to, at some point, run into that problem. So if you find a good answer, please let us know. Let's see. Oh, man. Ahmad Shine, fail of the week. I'm doing a long wallet for my sister, and I sewed everything, but forgot the snap buttons, which should have been underneath the pockets. Yes, I'm sorry to say that it still happens with me. I've done that recently. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you can go through the line, or maybe that's not such an issue. Maybe no one will see that, or it's gonna look like it was supposed to be that way anyway. Y'all, John, let's see. Yes, I do have a Facebook. I'm always need to get on Facebook, and we've had several folks say, "Hey, we need to do a group," so I can see some of these pictures. Part of the problem is I'm here by myself, and yes, that was on my mind probably 2 of the 3 days this week. So, let's see. Okay. Oh man. Okay, Jason Gomez. Here's one for us. Last week you mentioned effects of metal containers. Yeah, let's try not to use metal containers for our dyes and top coats. I spilled purified water from a stainless container on veg tan, and it turned the leather black. That's a trip. I've never seen that. But is it a nice black? Is this a good? Have we stumbled on a technique here? Cabral do Cuero. Do you like Brazilian leather products? I've seen some of the most beautiful leather products come out of Brazil, but Brazil has cornered the market on the hair-on. In my opinion, they do hair-on like no one else. The big cow rugs, typically Brazil, well tanned and beautiful. So, yes, my friend, Brazil and leather, absolutely. Let's see, Kyung Chin, what thread do you use for stitching? I know I said goodbye like 10 minutes ago. I don't care. We have the Ritza Tiger thread, and I love it. A lot of threads are spun, left sponge. This is a braid, and I love it. I like the 0.8 millimeter. I said the 0.08 millimeter, and somebody, thank you, corrected me. I think I know who it was, but I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. 0.8 millimeter, I love. That's my favorite thread. It sticks out. It's not too big, but it's not too little. The point 0.6 is great, but it's the proportionally to the project. I think that's more important than actually the size. So like a wallet, yeah, let's go with the point 0.6. If we did a point 0.1 or the 1 millimeter, or maybe I think we've got a 1.2, the thread would just be overly huge, and it would be the focal point of the wallet. So the proportions of that tend to play a little bit of a part in that. But I just like the point 0.8 myself. For just about every project, it stands out. It stands out. That's what I'm looking for. But it's not so overly big that I have trouble sewing, or that it takes the focal point off of the whole project. So I might say the point 0.6 and the point 0.8 are my two favorites. See if that helps. See if that helps. Okay, let's see. Amazing Andrea. Cool, cool. Okay. I used the Resolene and I put on 2 coats. That helped tremendously. See if that helps. See if that, y'all, thank you for pitching in. Okay, Derek, 50-50 mix with water. I've always heard this, but I've never tried that. To me, we don't want to mix water in. But and Derek uses that as a resist sometimes too. I hope that's a good resist. Let us know how that works for you, because I just don't use resist because they don't resist as well as I think they should without putting multiple coats on there. And at that point, why don't we just paint around it? We do 2 coats and we're done and moving on. Yeah, amazing, Andrea. I second the Facebook. You're absolutely right. I've got it. I don't get on. Our personal computer's upstairs, and I just never look at it because I don't need to remortgage my home, and I don't need, to regrow hair. And that's the only emails well, there's a couple of emails, and we're not going to go into those. But so what happens is I tend not to just sit down at that computer, and I hate the email. It's just a weird. I'll get there. I will get there, and I'm sorry I keep saying that. All right. I will be on Facebook before we get together next Wednesday. That's a promise, and I've got that on there. Let's see. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I've got working on a video. So yeah, if anybody says, hey, go full on or go simple, let me know on that. As it stands, I'm going full on. Let's just make a beautiful wood carrier and have a great time doing it. So y'all, it's always a pleasure. I look forward to Wednesday every week. Chance to step away from it. If I don't say goodbye to you by name, just a little bit later today, I will be saying goodbye to you. So listen out, right? And the same with hello or your questions or comments. If I didn't get to you, I will this afternoon. Absolutely, I will read. I will read every comment, y'all, because they're a pleasure. Y'all keep this thing rolling. My notes last us like 20 minutes, and then we're going to have to do some juggling or something. So anyway, y'all, second half of the week is on. 2 days left. We've got a weekend coming here in the U.S. We've got some really pretty fall weather going on. Leaves are just starting to change down here. So I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. Thank you so much from all over the world. We've got friends in every country on this planet, and that is absolutely a pleasure. Y'all have a great second half of your week. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. And I'm going to look forward to next Wednesday. Y'all, and I see the comments keep popping up. Y'all, goodbye to everybody. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next Wednesday at 3 o'clock. We'll have some good themes, some sale items, some samples. We'll just, we'll have a good time with it. Y'all make something great. Have a good time doing it. Good luck with your projects. Y'all, we'll see you next week. Have a great week.